guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be showing you what I have been reading as of late and what I kind of plan to read in the next coming months. So today I'm just going to be using my Kindle because that really has been what I've been reading on, and it's been really fun. So currently I'm reading technically 2 to 3 books right now. The very first book I'm reading is about horoscopes. Oh crap. And I wanted to start researching horoscopes because I found them interesting. People always ask me, like, what sign are you? All of that stuff. And I never really knew what it meant. I never really knew the lore behind it. So I'm kind of really diving into horoscopes. So it's basically called The Stars Within You, A Modern Guide to Astrology. That's been great. Where are my library? And then I'm also reading Brandon Sanderson. I know, I'm finally getting into Brandon Sanderson. I actually took one of his writing classes last summer during COVID-19. I would do it at like 5 a.m. and it really did improve my writing. So I love myself some Brandon Sanderson, and he would often reference his books. I do have, I don't know if it's on here right now, but I did have it up here, and it's The Way of Kings, which I think everybody's very familiar with. But The Way of Kings is like a huge book, and it also doesn't have a female main character, and if I want to get into an author, I feel like my best entry is to have a female main character, just so I can connect with it a little bit better. I have been finding in a lot of adult fantasy, it's ruled by men writers, and it's just not, that's the thing about fantasy, is I love young adult fantasy because there's so many women writers, and there's so many feminine main characters and young main characters kind of finding themselves, and that's why I love YA so much. In adult fiction and fantasy, I'm not really finding that, or if it does have a really strong female character, it's a side character. It's not by her perspective, and if it is, it's usually by a male, and sometimes it's just not done correctly, which is fine, because like that's a whole nother story. But I do love Brandon Sanderson, and so I began Mistborn. I am 30% done with it. I'm on page 200. I am really enjoying it. I have not had a lot of time to read recently, so I'm kind of going back between the two books. The Astrology, I'm actually not reading. I'm more studying, so I'm taking notes in my notebook, so I'm taking twice as long to read that than a Brandon Sanderson book, where I'll just down and read it for a period of time. So but I have been loving getting back into fantasy. So there's a couple different books I do want to read. I did start Dune because it's coming out in theaters soon, and I wanted to read it before I saw the movie. I wasn't connecting too much with it, and I think the reason is because sometimes with sci-fi and fantasy, the authors have this whole ecosystem, has this whole language, and that's what makes that book so rich and intricate, and it's awesome. But with that being said, if you don't really establish what those things are or what they mean, the reader can get lost. So I'm a little bit lost in it right now. I thought I'd just put it away for a little bit and then pick it up later. I don't know if watching the movie would help, but I'm interested. I think it's a cool book, and I do want to read it because I've heard such good things about that series. I did start Anne Bishop's Daughter of the Blood, and I think this is going to piss off a lot of Anne Bishop people, but it's just not the book for me. To me, it was really sexual, and like, I can do a sexy book, I can, but it was almost uncomfortable, and I like the point she makes in it. I'm not even that, I'm 13% through. I think she was setting up the story, and I kind of got lost with it. I just felt uncomfortable reading it, so I just put it away for the moment. I'm hoping I can go back to it because I hear such good things about that series, but as of right now, I'm not reading it. The Lost Book of the Grail, I have never actually read, like, King Arthur in the Seven in the Round Table. So basically, The Lost Book of the Grail is actually a really cool book. It's the story of King Arthur, but it's with lost text inserted. So they found all this new text to it. It goes into the history of the story, who wrote it, why they wrote it. It actually was never completed by the actual like first author, and so kind of all the endings are kind of variations of how they depicted the story, but nobody actually knows where the author was actually going, which I thought was so interesting. The Book of the Grail also, I took a fantasy class a few years ago all about fantasy and mythology, and so kind of going back through this book, I kind of have that feeling that I was in class again. I got to learn where the story comes from. I get to learn a lot more about like history and cultures and myths, and I think that is so awesome. So it's one of my geeky things that I really like. It's kind of heavy, but right now I'm really focusing on the astrology and Sanderson. If I limit myself to 2, I can pretty much knock them out of the park. I'm hoping to get Sanderson done by the time I go to the beach in about 2 weeks. We'll see if that happens. But that is what I have been reading. I also read a really good fantasy book that I want to mention. That I think I might be bringing to the beach, and actually after this video I'm going to be filming what I'm bringing on vacation to read, so that's going to be exciting. So, but yeah, I just thought I would do this little update video. I haven't really, reading has been put on the back burner. I'm working a lot, and I just don't have a lot of time right now, or if I do, I don't have the energy. Like, I used to get home and read, and I still do, but the thing is, though, is because I'm reading The Stars Within You, I'm studying it. So whenever I can, I'm taking notes. I'm really just studying the book. And so Sanderson is a little bit on the side right now. But I love both of them, and that's just what I've been reading. So I thought I would give you guys an update. It's been a hot second since I've given you guys an update on what I've been reading. And I don't know, I hope to give you guys more updates more frequently. I did do a couple book reviews like in January on the books I read then, because I was really into reading. I want to get back into my myths and mythology and my fantasy books, my fairy tale books. I want to do at least one of those a month. Just kind of get back into my routine of reading, but I thought this would be a good place to start. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave me a comment down below on what you think I should read next. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!